Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is Tuesday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It is 18:15 Zulu on February 4th, 2025. And this is Tuesdays with DX Engineering. Uh, Typically, our Tuesday show surrounds DX Engineering employees and their stories, and maybe even some stories about customers they have talked to. And those are always exciting. But today, because the awards deadline is quickly approaching, we have Michael Kalter, W8CI. Michael is the official spokesperson for the Dayton Hamvention. Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I hope you can hear me all right.
Yeah, we hear you fine, Michael. Tell us about the awards and about the deadline, and I'll bring up the website and everything that is going on with Hamvention 2025.
Yeah, it's coming up soon in May. But the awards, we have four specific awards: Amateur of the Year, Technical Achievement, Special Achievement, and Club of the Year. And the deadline to get that in is February 10th. So that's about less than a week away.
Yeah, so you've got these four awards, and why don't we step through them, Michael? Let's talk about technical achievement. What is the committee looking for? What are you looking for on that?
What we're looking for, first off, in all these awards, uh, the underlying thing is, does it affect a large portion of amateurs? So if we're looking in the technical arena, is there a technical achievement in the amateur radio arena that has really brought about a significant change or heavy interest from a large population of amateur radio operators? Go ahead.
Yeah, so it is still pretty broad, but you want to focus in on technical items, maybe engineering items. And
Yes.
is this restricted to the U.S.? Is it worldwide?
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned that. We've had a lot of winners in all these categories from all over the world. Hamvention is a global event, and we welcome all of our friends, amateurs from all over the world, and we welcome them to apply as well.
All right, great. And then the Special Achievement Award, Michael, what would you say stands out about the Special Achievement?
Well, when you look at special achievement, what is it that an amateur radio operator led or spearheaded that made a significant difference? Using amateur radio made a significant difference. It could be a rescue operation. Uh, it could be, maybe there's been a bad earthquake, a fire, severe storms, and there was a particular person who really jumped in there and led the uh, communications effort. We look for those sorts of things. It's whatever it could be. It's very wide once again, but it's mostly a one-off kind of achievement. And whereas the amateur of the year is pretty much a lifetime of sustained achievement and making a difference in amateur radio.
Right. So let's talk about the Amateur of the Year award, Michael. That from an individual status, that's the highest award that Hamvention recognizes every year. And why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, we've had some absolutely fabulous winners who've given back so much to amateur radio in that have won the Amateur of the Year award. For example, we had you won all the things that you give back. We gave it to Ward Silver once many years ago. We've given it to uh, people in Europe. Zorro won it one time, and it is a these are people you'll usually recognize their name, not always, and but we really we look at all the applications, and we also even go beyond that to see who in the amateur radio community is making that big difference that we need to recognize.
Right. And so as you speak about this, this is giving back to the hobby. And last year's winner was really heavily involved with promoting youth programs. And he had made a difference. And if you asked any of the youth about this gentleman, they all knew him.
Oh, yeah. He was Ed just made I'm sorry, I can't recall his call sign right now, but Ed made such a difference, and he still is. I get emails from him. I'm on his mailing list, and imagine 6 nights a week he has a net of some sort. 6 nights a week. He's been doing that for years. That is extreme dedication, and he spotlights the youth too quite often in his newsletters, the youth and their families, and just a really a tremendous winner.
Right, and so let's go on to Club of the Year, and we know, Michael, you and I have talked on this show many times about the backbone of amateur radio, and the clubs are the backbone. Tell us about the award for Club of the Year.
Well, for the Club of the Year, you don't have to be the biggest club. You don't have to have the most money. But what we're looking for is a club that embraces the spirit of amateur radio and tries to include as many members as they can. And we do like to see membership growth. I think that's important. But we also like to see, if possible, youth involvement, classes, other things that we give back to the community. How well-rounded are you? And I will tell you that we often consult your web page. If you have applied, we may be looking at your web page and then getting some verification to you are who you say you are. but what you're right, Tim. Clubs make a difference. I know because I belong to a couple. Of course, DARA is my main club, but clubs make a difference.
And it is great that every year a club that has gone out of their way to do a lot of special things and include their members and include amateur radio as their focus. That's a tremendous thing. So let's talk about the application process and the fast approaching deadline, Michael.
Yeah, the application process, you go to the website, in the top left-hand corner, you'll see the 3 bars, and you click on the menu, then click on awards, and you'll be able to see then the forms that we have to fill out. So fill those out. I really don't like things that are way too wordy. It takes, be specific. Bullet points are great, and be encompassing, but be more concise and not long paragraphs. If you can do that, but our instructions are pretty clear on the forms. So if you can get those, pretty easy to do, and just send it right to me. I am the person that gets them, and my email address is on there, and I'm good on QRZ, W8CI.
And Michael, you have a committee, so it's not just you that makes this decision. You have a committee that really does go in depth and does check the background to make sure that the claims are correct.
Yeah, we have had to, there's been a couple of times when we did go in the background and we thought we had everything, but we kept asking questions. And then we found out that they were kind of bogus, and we got bogus information, which was not good. And, somebody just fishing for an award, and how embarrassing to win an award you really don't deserve, especially with that kind of profile. But that has happened. And so we've had to cancel, I think only a couple of times in the last 20 years, we've had to drop an award because of that. But be specific, be honest, and you don't have, like I say, you don't have to have the most money. You might be surprised that whoever you're nominating, whether it's your club or somebody for technical achievement or special achievement or amateur of the year, you might be surprised when they win. You might not think they'd have a chance, but all things considered, we really look it over. And yeah, I got a committee that goes over everything with a fine tooth comb. This is definitely not a Michael decision.
Oh, that's great. Let's take a look, Michael, in the chat room, who's in here today. And we've got X-Ray Echo 2 Zulu Zulu from Mexico. And from Germany, it's Delta Lima 1 Whiskey Whiskey. And also Paul is on Alpha Alpha 8 Whiskey Quebec. And Kelly is on Kilo India 4 Juliet Alpha Victor. And Adrian Papa Echo 2 Kilo. So some viewers on here today. And certainly, part of what we try to do on these shows, Michael, is get timely information out there. And Hamvention is really quickly approaching. And why don't you talk for a few minutes on what's going on to prepare for 2025?
Well, we work closely with the fairgrounds, and make sure that the buildings inside are in good shape. All the committees are working hard to, you would think that, well, it's a week before Hamvention, we can go check the forum rooms. No, we check all that well in advance. We have our volunteers lined up. We already are today sending off a check to our bus people, and we have security that we deal. We have insurance we have to deal with. It's a really a major undertaking, and the thing about it is that none of us get paid to manage or administrate this event. It's a labor of love, and that's why we hit on the theme this year of radio independence. And at Hamvention, we believe in radio independence. And when you look down through the decades of radio itself, and you'll see where people weren't allowed to use radios, or they're not allowed to communicate. And it still happens in parts of the world right now. So I am grateful for what we have, and I think we all should be mindful that it could be gone. We need to fight for that. We need to appreciate it. We need to use them, and we need to be respectful to one another.
Right. And, being respectful for one another, amateur radio operators are great friends, and friendship is what this is all about as well. And the fact that the Dayton Amateur Radio Association, the host club for Hamvention, is going to host about 35,000 attendees over the 3 days that comprise Hamvention. It is just a spectacular achievement of many, many volunteers. I do want to get back into the chat room for a moment. Our good friend John, Whiskey 2 Victor Papa from down in Georgia, and a previous award winner, Ham of the Year, Carson, Delta Mike 9 Echo Echo, and all his work with Ukrainian hams. And Daniel, Whiskey 8 Delta Charlie Bravo, and Bubba, November 4 Queen Mike. He said, my ticket for Hamvention came in the mail last week. See you in Xenia. So tickets are on sale. You can get those tickets via the mail, via the website, or if you come into the DX Engineering store, we've got the tickets there as well. So, Michael, I want to make sure that we thank you for your leadership, and the rest of the committee chairs, as well as Brian, your Hamvention chair for this year, and all of the 700 plus volunteers. Thank you so much, Michael.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this couldn't happen without all the volunteers, and I am just a volunteer. I enjoy what I do. Sometimes it's stressful. I also want to wish all the best to our friends in Florida at Hamcation, and a group of us, including myself, will be down at Hamcation this weekend. So you look for us, we'll be down there. But Tim, thank you for what you're doing, and thanks for having me on the program. And everybody, get your applications in for the award winners.
Sounds great, Michael. We'll look forward to another update from you very soon.
Yeah.
But have a very safe trip to Florida. And to all of you that are attending Hamcation, we hope you have a great time. And to those of you who are staying home, watch DX Engineering videos. It's a good way to learn a few things. And we'll see you next time here at DX Engineering. Until then, 73.
7-3.